Hi, this is Dr. Stephanie Wautier, and I'm the host of Conversations with a Chiropractor. This is not a health how-to, but rather a conversation with some amazing people I've had the pleasure of being with on my journey of life. Think of it more like Tuesdays with Maury, a fireside chat, or chicken soup for the soul. In this episode of Conversations with a Chiropractor, I sit down and talk to my partner in business, Jamie Thayer. Jamie and I co-own Glow Laser Aesthetics in Marquette, Michigan, and we have had such an extraordinary 5 years in business. Grab a cup of coffee and listen to this conversation with a chiropractor. Today, I am joined by my business partner, Jamie Thayer. Jamie, thank you so much for being on Conversations with a Chiropractor.
Thank you so much for having me. I love this podcast.
I think a lot of people, maybe even when they walk in the building, most people might not even know that I'm the co-owner of Glow and that we're business partners.
And the thing is, because we do share a lobby and we do have a lot of the same patients and everything too, it's interesting when people find out. But yeah, we've been business partners for 5 years now. We're about to celebrate our 5-year anniversary of Glow. It's surreal.
It is. And the cool and the bizarre thing is we just started, we had lunch at the Veerling. You owned Anytime Fitness of Harvey.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, I was just a chiropractor with my business. And I was interested in getting this Zerona laser, which was the sort of the first way that we began Glow. And I think that you and I came from just such a point of like synchronicity in what we wanted to do and how we wanted to do it. Would you talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So my previous life before Glow is an exercise physiologist and working in the fitness industry for 23 years. Really, I was drawn to that because I loved how people feel better about themselves. And when you care a great deal about people and their well-being and health, similar to what you do as a chiropractor and in your previous experience as a nurse, even before a chiropractor, your whole career also has converged to this point where we found ourselves at where we wanted to pivot and do something a little different. And I think you and I both being consumers of the medical aesthetics services for many years, we knew what it was like to go into medical spas and seeing a gap that wasn't quite filled. We did start with the Zerona laser, which is an amazing low-level laser therapy device that is FDA cleared, no side effects as far as the adverse things. So that's what attracted us first. But we had this big vision of becoming more. And 5 years later, we have 9 lasers. We have over 34 treatments. We have a team of 14 amazing women who love our clients, love our patients, are super passionate about bringing truly cutting-edge technology to the med spa world where we are. It's an amazing, beautiful thing, and I'm still pinching myself.
It is. It has been an amazing 5 years. And I think every day we still come back to that point where we know that when someone looks better, they feel better. And it's not what we want them to look like, but it's like the things that they've maybe been bothered by. I know it's crazy. It's like a friend of a friend was like, wow, Jamie is my guardian angel because I had this cherry angioma and I felt so self-conscious. Yeah. Or someone with really bad acne scarring who's had their face transformed. Or someone who has been bothered by the color of their teeth and they feel like they can finally smile. Like they can finally be their true, authentic selves. And yeah, I just think that we get so much gratification out of making people feel better.
Oh, absolutely. I pinch myself every day that what I get to do for a living and what I'm so passionate about is helping people to feel better about themselves. And truly, I just feel like that's one of the best feelings to get for yourself. But also when you're helping someone else, it's just indescribable. We had been going to other medical spas in the past, and we just knew how sometimes when you walk into somewhere like that, you don't feel like you belong there. or you might not feel you're pretty enough or thin enough or rich enough. This is just a really real consensus that people feel in an industry like medical aesthetics. And we wanted to provide a place that just by walking in our doors, you feel and know you are seen and you feel worthy. Because really, our vehicle is medical aesthetics, but really what we're doing here is we're boosting confidence. We're helping someone get their power back. We're helping someone just reestablish that self-care routine. So many different things, but our vehicle happens to be medical aesthetics.
You have really been the pioneer for us in this business for these outreach programs. Would you talk about those outreach programs?
Yeah. In the last 5 years, we have been growing and traveling for more trainings, and we've actually gone to Europe for training because we wanted to be the best at things like hair removal, vascular lesion removal, and tattoo removal primarily is one of our huge specialties. We decided 3 years ago, a little more than 3 years ago now, myself and Dr. Steph, to use one of our amazing tools to do outreach. We started with partnering with our local women's shelter. That also led us to partner with the Task Force Against Human Trafficking for our state. And we ended up joining the Survivors Support Committee. With doing that, we are offering our services of tattoo removal for free for survivors of domestic violence and for human trafficking, because tattooing is a common practice in both of those horrible situations. So we wanted to do our part in using a tool we had access to just to help someone heal just a little bit. Unfortunately, we have had a lot of people take advantage of that program, and they get referred to us by different agencies and through our local women's shelter as well. But again, we're just so grateful to have been part of someone's healing journey.
When someone has had that kind of abuse, that kind of trauma, we know the magnitude emotionally, or we don't know, but we can only fathom. And then for them to have that physical mark on them, and for that physical mark to be removed, it is so powerful in helping them heal emotionally.
Absolutely. And a client that I was speaking with who's part of our program, she described it like this. She had even family members that offered to pay for a tattoo to cover up this mark that was put on her and this horrible thing that had happened to her. And she told me I could get a tattoo cover up, but it's kind of like if you had black mold on your wall, would you just paint over it? And tattoo removal, if anyone out there listening has had it done, it's a little spicy. It's not the most fun and relaxing treatment to get done. But I've also been told by these clients in these programs that because there is some pain associated with it, it almost makes it more therapeutic because they can feel that something is happening and it's a change, and it's almost like an emotional release because they can feel it. So
like it's leaving their body.
Yeah.
Would you talk a little bit about the process of how tattoo removal works and what's happening when that laser is hitting the ink?
Oh, for sure. So first of all, only very specialized lasers can be used on tattoos. So that would be your Q-switch lasers or pico lasers. So we use Q-switch. We love our Quanta Evo Q plus C. Not to be a big nerd, but I'm a big laser nerd, so I'll lay some stuff on you here.
Yeah, we want it. We want to hear it all.
Our laser is a Q-switch or photoacoustic laser. So the difference between photoacoustic and like photothermal that you would find with laser hair removal and vascular lesion removal, all those things, is photothermal is almost like if you picture a lightning strike of energy. So it's hot. Photothermal is hot. Lightning strike. Photoacoustic is like an earthquake of energy. The photoacoustic laser that we use that has 3 frequencies so we can treat any color, it sends a shockwave of energy down into the ink, and it shatters it in that way of an earthquake. So then you have ink fragments that your body sees internally as a toxin, and you detox it internally.
That is so amazing.
Isn't that cool?
That process.
So with that being said, you should never have scarring, pigmentation changes, anything like that. Versus if someone used a photothermal laser on a tattoo, which I have seen this happen, and this is kind of the old school way also, But what happens is if they use the wrong laser, it actually boils the ink to the surface and creates a wound. The wound will scab will fall off, but then you have a scar in the shape of the tattoo or worse. So you're trading one issue for another.
Exactly. There's still a mark.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if it's tattoo ink. Now it's like scarred.
It's still a scar,
tissue.
which you can't really effectively tattoo over scars either, even if someone wanted to cover up. So, really when you're looking at laser technology for tattoo specifically, the energy matters, the quality of the device matters. Our machine is FDA approved. We use the FDA approved medical way of doing it. And myself and one of our nurses here happened to travel to Scotland almost 2 years ago now, and we trained with Dr. Mike Murphy, and he is one of the biophysicists that worked on the team to perfect the medical laser tattoo removal process. And he opened the first medical laser tattoo removal clinic in the world in Glasgow, Scotland in 1990, and we got to go train with him one-on-one.
I think that is so spectacular. Here we are we're Yoopers, we're in Marquette, Michigan, and you guys went all the way to Scotland to train with the inventor of the Ruby laser, the biophysicist, Dr. Mike Murphy.
Pretty crazy.
It's amazing.
And it was a great experience, and he's been a fabulous mentor ever since, and someone that we have questions and we can reach out, and absolutely game-changing to work with him. But it also made us even more solidified in our outreach programs and more fired up to use these amazing tools to do good in our community, whether it's through outreach or just one by one, every single person that has just either that tattoo that they no longer love, or they are having issues with hair growth, they want to do hair removal, they want skin tightening. We do literally 34 different things. So
we do.
Crazy. And then we also created another outreach program division with tattoo removal, which it's cool because we've been doing a program that we called Erase the Hate. And what that is, we remove gang-related hate and racist tattoos for free.
Amazing.
And that has been a big program.
Yeah.
So with the Erase the Hate program, it's been really profound the amount of impact we've been able to have with this. So we celebrated our 3-year anniversary of the Erase the Hate program in April. And over the 3 years up to April, we have done over $200,000 pro bono in tattoo removal outreach services. The reason why we created this program is because we really believe strongly, you and I both, that no one should have to look at these symbols of hate, of any sort of exclusion to any race, any creed, anything. So no one should have to look at this stuff. No child, no adult, no one. But we also know on the flip side of that, especially in situations of being pushed into like gangs, which in other areas this happens and people get caught up into it, or incarceration. We know that sometimes people end up with tattoos that do not represent them, but because they had, for protection's sake, had to basically join a side. So we see this a lot, and we believe too that if every one of us wore our worst decisions on our bodies, on our faces, on our hands, on our necks, anything for the world to see, we'd all look a lot different.
Yeah. And it's hard for these folks who have these marks. Let's just call them marks.
Yeah.
It's hard for them to proceed in their life.
Right.
They could be emotionally changed and mentally changed and physically changed in many other ways. And perhaps, remorseful for what has happened.
Absolutely.
And we can never know what it's been like to walk in their shoes.
Right.
But that symbol is preventing them from getting a job, from succeeding. So how powerful for this program, this Erase the Hate, to allow people to really get a second chance.
Absolutely. And I hear that so much because we do an interview process. And first thing I ask is, why do you want to get this removed? And I just let people talk. And so many times I hear, I was incarcerated, and now that I'm out, my children are now asking me what these symbols are. Or they totally own it and say, you know what? I used to think this way and now I'm absolutely ashamed and I can't even bear to look at myself. We've had clients in this program that have had face tattoos and some things not so great who have told us, you know what? First time in 6 years, I put my mirrors back up in my bathrooms because I can bear to look at myself now. That's powerful.
That self-hatred, how detrimental
Right.
to any human to just feel
Right.
that self-hatred when they look in the mirror.
Exactly. And mistakes happen. And we have no right to judge because we've never walked even an inch in these shoes. But here's the flip side of this, because this is our business and our outreach program. We have a few rules to the Erase the Hate program. With the outreach program for Erase the Hate, we have a few rules because, again, this is called Erase the Hate. This is not called let an undercover racist look good at the beach and no one will ever know, right? And here's my example of this, and this is a real story. I had someone come in who wanted to take advantage of this program. Okay. And this guy happened to have a swastika on his chest and he wanted to get removed. He had been incarcerated and he said he just is embarrassed about it and everything because this is something that we dove headfirst into and learning all about gang tattoos, racist tattoos, regalia related to it as well. I learned a little bit about other tattoos that could mean the same thing, along with other genres of different gang tats. Long story short, I saw that he had another tattoo that meant the same idealism on his arm. And so I said, okay, here's the deal. Yes, we're more than happy to remove the swastika on your chest, but this other thing had to go. And he was like, yeah, no. And so I'm like, then that can be $3,000 to remove your tattoo because this is called Erase the Hate. It's not make you undercover.
Yeah. And I think that you've learned so much about this, I'm just going to say dark, about this very dark world.
Yeah.
And most of us wouldn't perhaps even know what some of these symbols meant.
Right.
We all know what that swastika looks like, but I wouldn't be as educated about what some of these other symbols are.
Exactly. And my sister has helped a lot with that too. My sister happens to be a sergeant at one of our local maximum security prisons. So she's helped a lot as well, but also my own research. There's a lot of great resources online. And I have to say, with that being said, when we really started digging into this, I happened to have gone to Miami for a vacation and we were on the beach. I saw gang tats everywhere.
Wow.
It was because now that it's almost once you see, it's like, wow, it's like learning a new language that you had no idea.
That you never knew.
Never
that
knew.
Was always in front
Never
of
knew.
you.
So really, we have this policy with this program. It's all or nothing. It's all or nothing. And only 2 people that have come in for this have been a little weird about it and a little bit shockingly abrasive. But 99.999% of our other clients, which we've had a ton in this program, their response is, oh my gosh, you would remove that one also? I thought it was too much to ask.
Yeah.
Most are just so grateful to get these others removed. And it's just been a wonderful thing because you see the transformation of confidence when something that is weighing someone down, what may be keeping them from getting a job, is making them feel ashamed, and it starts to disappear, and you totally see that transformation. And again, coming from a family of, my sister works at the prison, I have other law enforcement in my family and everything. When someone gains self-confidence, they're less likely to repeat
a crime,
repeat mistakes,
or
less like the recidivism. Iran probably. Confidence and empowerment building programs are effective for a lot of people. And if removing something off their face helps them to be confident enough that they do not feel so lowly of themselves that they're allowing themselves to get put in these situations, that's a huge win. And even if it helps one person, we've fulfilled our mission.
And we've helped so many people.
It's been amazing.
It really has.
Yeah, it's been amazing.
And I want to say tattoo removal is a little bit of a commitment. It's not like a one and done service. You talked about that technology and the science behind how that ink is being the earthquake and then how your body is really expulging, that's not the right word, how your body is clearing the ink through your system.
So that's the thing too, is in tattoo removal in general, and especially these outreach programs, this isn't an easy out for anybody. When you're talking, oh, if they get it for free and it should be so easy. No, it is a process. For one, it's painful. So don't be scared if you want a tattoo remove. But it's very fast, but it's painful. And the typical tattoo, it's like 8 to 12 treatments spaced 8 to 12 weeks apart. So it's a time commitment. It is, and it's a patience type of test as well. Now, on the flip side, a lot of homemade tattoos, especially ones I see done either what we call stick and pokes or done with carbon ink, like ink that's made from other things, which with post-incarceration too. A lot of times those tattoos do go faster though.
Because of the quality of the ink?
Yep, the quality of the ink and how deep it's put. But every single one is different. It's just
What is
cool.
the closest place that has any kind of an equipment similar or even in the same category as we do? Where would the closest other place be for anyone to get a tattoo removed?
So as far as I know, Green Bay has a place, but we still have clients that come from Green Bay because they like what we're doing. They like our equipment. As far as our exact equipment, I know there's a place in Grand Rapids that has our exact laser too, but I do know for a fact we are the only ones in the state of Michigan that are doing these outreach programs, whether it's for domestic violence and human trafficking survivors or erasing the hate type of program. We are literally the only ones in the state of Michigan. And we are registered with an organization called jailstojobs.org as well. And like I said, with those other programs, different agencies that are involved in human trafficking and domestic violence survivor support reach out to us and connect us with people as well.
That is so profound.
It's one of my favorite things about just my career up until this point personally, and that me and you have done this together. It's like one of the things I'm most proud of in my entire life.
It's astounding. We think about even someone with acne scarring or all those little things that we talked about with all the tools that we have. Which is huge, but this so monumental.
Yeah, just to be, and like I said, it's like, it's not like we're bestowing this big thing on someone, but to be a small part of their healing journey, no matter which avenue they're coming from. Yeah, I'm just grateful for it.
Yeah, you do such a brilliant job. Do you want to talk a little bit about some of the other services that we do at Glow?
Yeah, sure.
Some of those 33, like we talk, everybody's always, what's your favorite? What's your favorite? Virtue RF, the jawline transformation.
Yeah, RF microneedling is the shiznit. Can I say that?
I think so. Yeah.
It is seriously one of the best inventions in medical aesthetics, hands down, I think. We use the Virtue RF, which is one of the most powerful machines on the market. And that's the thing, when we decided to go for it and build Glow, we ended up starting with one laser and we had this big vision. We really are all about quality and like the best education we can get. So we took a little bit to build, but it was because we were like the best or nothing,
Well, and we built this business during COVID.
Yeah.
And you made the best of that time.
I went back to school.
Exactly. Right.
I went back to school.
The National Laser Institute based in Arizona.
Yep. And did all that advanced laser training. And it was, we made lemonade during COVID. We were determined to not let it get us down, and we determined to like learn a different way and pivot. And I think it reinforced that what we were doing was on the right path, because the world needs a little more compassion and kindness and true human connection. And I feel like that's what we were able to build here. But because of COVID, I feel like it just solidified that even more.
And I think it's so cool too, because you are a voracious learner and you are also an amazing educator. Like I have said this over and over, whether we're in a staff meeting or whether we're at a bridal show or whether you're just talking to some of the interns that are coming from the aesthetics program at Northern, you are such a good educator. And I do want to give a little shout out because you are doing some side gigs.
I am.
You know, the Erconia company has utilized your knowledge and information for a long time. You've done webinars and you run a Facebook group to help coach people in
like practice development type.
But you also are helping people with your laser secret.
Yeah.
Because you have this voracious knowledge and you really have, with all of this clinical experience, mastered how to get the best results with these tools.
Thank you very much. And I just have to say, first of all, I've had a lot of amazing support and encouragement along the way. And you being my business partner I don't think I could have done these other things without your support and encouragement always. And giving me your honest opinion as well.
I'm good at that. I'm good at
which I love. Basically, over the last 5 years, learning as much as we possibly can and trying to be the best we possibly can so we can be the best for our clients, our patients. I went on this learning journey to absorb everything about laser, everything about RF, everything about all these modalities that we want to work with, and then pursued like medical esthetician licensing and everything. But along the way, what I ended up doing is I'd get to the cap of what we could do and the top certifications, and then realizing it's one of those things that the more you know and the more you learn, the more you know you need to know. Okay, I just climbed the top of this mountain, and then I realized, I looked around, and there's many more mountains around me and higher mountains. So really, my quest over the last 5 years has been, I have been pretty much a student, like heavy, for the last 5 years. And it's because I complete a certification, I complete a license, and then it's like, okay, now I have more questions. But a lot of that, too, is just understanding the physics behind these machines and what it does to your skin and understanding biophysics. So really, with that, I decided to form my own consulting business and taking all of this knowledge that I was able to acquire, but piecing it together in a very actionable way so that someone else doesn't have to run around like a chicken with their head cut off for 5 years.
Yes. Absolutely.
To fast track. So that way it's like and I call my company Laser Secrets, and I do consulting with physicians and medical spas and medical estheticians. It's been really cool. I'm creating on-demand courses as well. And again, it's to fast track you and to share what I literally spent 5 years piecemealing all this together and perfecting. And I'm a perfectionist.
Yes, which is great. It's great for our client.
Hi, I'm Jamie. I'm like the biggest perfectionist. But again, it comes from a place of curiosity and striving to want to be the best, not just to be like, oh, we're the best, but no, for our clients. And I hope each and every one of them that come here feel it.
They do.
Because we adore them.
Yes.
We wouldn't be who we are without our amazing team.
Yes.
And our amazing clients. So yeah, but thank you. And I love it. And I love sharing it. This is just my jam.
So many people in our community have probably heard you on the radio, or now they've seen you on TV 6. And I think that your educator role sort of jumps in those circumstances. And you actually have your own podcast now where you're teaching us all about skincare. I know that I've learned so much. I'm like, you start with vitamin C and then you put the sunscreen on. Like, I mean, these really, really I don't want to say basic. They're not basic.
No one ever taught us.
Yes.
Yeah, they're things no one ever taught us. So yeah, my podcast is called Let's Glow. And the objective for it is to empower people to know how to take care of your skin, whether you live, down the road and you can come to Glow, or you live in Iowa and you don't even have a Walgreens for 3 hours. No offense to anyone in Iowa. I love Iowa. Or Nebraska or any of those states, or my in-laws live in Montana. You can go hours without seeing anything. So I know you're not getting your skincare. Or if you live in Manhattan and you have 5 options within 2 blocks, no matter how much money you make, no matter your age, my objective is to really teach people how to truly take care of their skin. That includes lifestyle habits, nutrition, going from my exercise physiology background and nutrition background, and mindset too. And it's all about empowering you to live your best skin life, essentially.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely. So interestingly enough, we are celebrating our 5-year anniversary very soon.
Yeah.
August is 5 years. It doesn't even seem real. Do you want to talk a little bit about some of the things that we're going to do to celebrate the 5 years?
Absolutely. So for the 5 years, it feels right to do a month-long celebration type of thing. And with that, of course, we're going to have some great specials. And then we're going to have a really beautiful giveaway that is like a glow makeover. So that's teeth whitening, a scalp facial, which is amazing, plus a spa facial.
Oh my.
So someone literally can come in and just get this like total like glow up.
Like a transformation, like a true spa day.
Amazing.
Love.
Decadent. To enter to win, all you have to do is do a free consultation with anyone of our lovely team. And then if you make a purchase, you can earn additional entries. So that's one side of it. And then we'll have amazing specials. But the big thing we're going to do, and I'm so excited about this. So we have a local organization that is branching out to become national. That is called Project Jade. Jade. Project Jade was inspired by this lovely young girl named Jade, and she has autism. What Project Jade does is helps schools provide these communication boards for playgrounds that help children with special needs communicate a lot easier with other children on the playground. If you've ever been around a child with special needs, those boards are so effective in communication and just helping decrease some barriers with their classmates. So there's these Project Jade boards popping up all over the place. It's so fantastic. So we've decided that for the entire month of August, if anyone donates $10 or more to Project Jade via us, we give them a little goodie bag that is a summer skin rescue kit with all these great products in it that you can try and just give your skin like a little perk up. So you get that just as a thank you. And then we're matching donations. You and I are.
I know. I'm so grateful that we can partner with Project Jade and help them because they are going national. And this is going to impact kids everywhere across the entire country.
It's amazing. I love what they do. And being that it's based out of right here in our backyard is amazing. So if anyone out there is interested in learning more, even maybe your school might want to put one of these boards in, projectjade.org is their website. And amazing. And
so we can list, we're talking about this 5-year celebration, but talking, Jamie, about you and all of the different things that you are doing, you can now add author to that list. And you have just come out with a new book, a new children's book.
I did. Published author is on my resume now, which is crazy.
That's wonderful.
About 5 years ago, I got really inspired by my niece, Jacinda. Happens to have autism, and she loves books so much. And she really inspired me. One summer, I spent a ton of time with her, and we read so many books, and lots of them are like Pete the Cat books and things like that.
Love Pete the Cat.
Totally. And it really got me thinking. And I've dabbled in writing previously, and it really got me thinking, and I got really inspired, and I wrote a group of stories, actually, which I chose one to actually come out with. But it's about a capybara, because I've always loved capybaras.
Now tell all of the listeners if they don't know what a capybara is. Talk to us a little bit about that.
A capybara is the largest rodent in the world, and they are known to be kind and gentle creatures. They're herbivores. They're found in South America, in more like wetlands. They like the hot, humid weather. And they're adorable. They look like a giant guinea pig. They can be like up to the size of a German Shepherd. They are literally the largest rodent in the world. And you know something? I have loved capybaras since I was a kid because I saw my first capybara in the movie called The Princess Bride.
I didn't know there was a capybara in that movie.
There is. It was under the rodents of unusual size. And so that's my first introduction, not to date both of us. But when The Princess Bride came out, I was obsessed with that movie. So yeah, I've always loved capybaras. So it just naturally being inspired by Jacinda and her books. And she's The way she sees the world, and she's so kind to everyone. That just really inspired me. I came up with my character Petunia the capybara, and the book I just released is called Petunia's Playground. And it's a body positivity, inclusivity, and anti-bullying book.
All of our kids need to see this, hear this, read this.
Yeah, and it's for everybody. I have a lot of adults now that have gotten their books and they're like, oh my God, I love Petunia. It's a very simple, great little fast story, but I feel like it really drives the point home about accepting everyone as they are, and not everybody looks the same and is the same. For kids, it's geared for that preschool, first grade type of age group. What kind of surprised me is within even the first 72 hours, Petunia's Playground was trending as the #1 new release in children's inclusivity, anti-bullying, and multiculturalism books. So,
oh my gosh, Jamie.
So that was crazy.
I think it just goes to show that there's that desire, that people want this kind of thing. So anyone listening can jump on Amazon.
Yep.
And they can find Petunia's
Playground, yes. And she's on Kindle and paperback. I looked and the stats were showing that she's now living in the UK, Australia, and she's been delivered to 14 different states.
Oh, how cool. And that's just 1 week.
It's so cool. I'm pinching myself because with this project, it was such a passion project and came from my heart. Putting her out there, I have no expectations except for I'm just hope people like her and get something out of it. So yeah, unexpectedly, whoa. And I dedicated the book to Jacinda.
What an honor for her. You're dropping goodness all over the whole world. And Jamie, I just want to thank you so much for being a guest on this podcast.
Thank you so much.
Everyone will see more and more of you. Do you want to tell anybody about how they can find you on social media?
If you'd like to follow Glow, we are Glow Laser Aesthetics with an A on Facebook and Instagram. And if you'd like to follow me, I am Jamie Thayer, JamieThayer on Facebook, and then JGlow906 on Instagram. And follow me. And if you are someone out there who is interested in learning more about laser, my business is called Laser Secrets, and I'm on Instagram and Facebook under Laser Secrets. And I have a YouTube page too.
You'll find her. Or just watch TV.
Yeah, and then I've really had the pleasure of being a guest every single month as a skincare expert on our local Upper Michigan Today on Fox UP. And I'm on next on Monday, August 5th at 9 a.m. So definitely find me there. And it's been a real pleasure. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Jamie. Thank you so much for being on Conversations with a Chiropractor. We'll see you soon.